Hey guys, welcome to Late Mac Strongman Talk, episode 2. I got here with me Benny Chessum from Coal City Strongman. Just going to have a bit of a chat with him and Beck a bit later on. So welcome Benny to the show.
Thanks, Dan.
I guess we wanted to cover about how Coal City started and how you got that happening and everything like that.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming to Coal City today. So back, I think it was 2017, there were a bunch of us in Newcastle competing in Strongman. We all had a little bit of gear each, but we just had nowhere to compete or train together. We had, a lot of gyms that were reluctant to let us take our gear into the gym, especially the commercial gyms that we were all training at that stage. Because, let's face it, Strongman is a bit different for the average gym goer, and they sort of look at it and don't understand a lot of it.
Yeah, 100%.
So we started training out of a PT gym down in Tyers Hill.
Yep.
Got together. There was originally myself, Kiwi, Dakota, Beck, Mason, all sort of pulled our resources and started Coal City. It was suggested that we should do some classes if people were interested, so we started making that an open session, and then we were hit up to do a qualifying comp for New South Wales Strongest 2017,
yep.
Which we ran on about 4 weeks' notice, and that was a super successful comp, and things have progressed from there.
Yeah, I remember being at that comp. It was pretty awesome to watch. I think on that day, the Australian women's log record got broken.
Yeah, Ashley Waldheim set a new Australian log record at 90 kilos.
Yeah,
on that day, and I tattooed her a couple of days ago, and she actually laughed because she didn't bother watching her diet or anything like that prior to that comp. So she came in and she weighed in at over 82 kilos. And I think she weighed 83 kilos. So if she'd set at an 82 record, that record would have stood for a little bit longer as well.
Yeah, because it got recently broken at Static Monsters, I believe.
Yeah, Lucia's got the record now at 100 kilos.
That's a big log either way you look at it.
Yeah.
90, 100 kilo log for a woman, that's massive.
Yeah. Yep. There's guys that would be stoked with that log.
Yeah, I know a couple of guys who would like to be able to lift that sort of weight.
There's heavyweight guys to be stoked with that log.
Mate, and from there, obviously, Coal City has built itself. You guys are now here at Hunter Strength and Performance. They've given you a new home. I've trained here myself for a while. Where are you guys now? Like from there to where you are now, what's that journey been like for you guys?
I guess we've got to a point now where, because we're partnered with such a strong gym, being Hunter Strength, we've got the ability that we've had a lot of people sort of come through, start by coming to our classes and just checking Strongman out. And now then they sort of progressed on to compete at higher levels. Obviously got guys, Hank Thunison,
big Hank.
Hank, he's competing at the Arnold's in a couple of weeks. So he's doing really well. We've had Kyle come through. He's done really well. We've got Big Reese's training here now. He's a member of the gym, so he trains, and I believe he is the second or third person to load the 165 stone. So there's been 3 now.
Yeah, nice. That's a big stone. It's over there.
It's a big stone, yeah. It's disgusting.
I guess with your classes, they're very much similar to our classes. I guess I've sort of, with my club, I've sort of come from here, so I do the same sort of thing. Anything special that you guys want to mention about your classes? You guys have gone to 2 classes this year?
Yeah, so we found that the Wednesday night class was getting a little bit hard for some people to get to.
Yep.
So we just wanted to make it more accessible. We opened up Sundays. So we do the complete novice class. So whether you're a novice or you're an experienced lifter, you can come on a Wednesday night and do that.
Yep.
And then Sundays, we just kind of make it an open session. So again, from novice through to experience, but you can come, there's not as much structure on a Sunday. You kind of come, lift what you want to lift, do what you want to do. If you need help, we can give it to you.
Yeah.
If you don't, we're happy to just join in and let you do your thing.
Yeah, of course, a really casual, relaxed atmosphere. That's
It's
really
a Sunday.
Awesome. Sunday. It's church.
It's church. Strong church.
Strong church. All right, let's talk about how you and I met, actually. That was a fun night, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you came along to Coal City with one of our classes, and you said you wanted to try this strongman stuff. I believe it was just after that comp that we ran.
You said no, it was before it because I turned up to that one.
Yeah. But yeah, you came along and I think you hit 100 kilo log on your first night.
100 kilo log first night.
Surprised the shit out of yourself.
Surprised the shit out of a few people, actually.
And I believe that you and Beck had a pretty healthy dick swinging contest, and you had a pretty healthy throw up.
Yeah. I tell you what, there's nothing like the Coal City warm-up to make you throw up. I don't miss those at all.
We still make people throw up every now and then. We do like to get people nice and warm before they start, and some of the medleys, even the lighter ones, seem to crush people's soul.
Yeah. Yeah, the old, let's drag a chain and then do a farmer's, then a log viper, then a keg viper. You just keep doing that over and over and over again.
Hey, that's become, I think, a bit of a staple of the Coal City Strongman comps, is we always throw a medley of some sort in. Yeah. And it's always some sort of mystery event. Yeah. And that's usually pretty good. We didn't have as much scope to do that on our last comp, so we just threw in a really cool hot rod pull, arm over arm.
That was really cool, actually. That was a nice car. Sounded beautiful. You missed out on that, Dylan. Yeah.
But, I mean, the feedback we get about the medleys, even the death medley where we had that Sam sort of put together for us. Sam. That nearly killed people last event of the day. Yeah. And it was brutal. But the people that gave us feedback, most of them said, don't ever do that again at the end of a comp. If that was a standalone thing, that'd be really cool. But because it was at the end of a very heavy comp, it was pretty brutal.
But in saying that, that's what comps are. They're just not, and I've based a lot of my comps off the same sort of principle, designed to test.
Yep.
Oh man, Coal Cities are legends at that. They definitely test your conditioning, your strength, everything when it comes to strongman.
And I guess the reason we put that medley at the end is all of our we want people to succeed. So we want it to be tough. I was told once by a very wise state representative that 50% of the people should fail on 50% of the events. So that's not to say that half the field should fail half of the events, but over the day, at least half the people should fail something.
Yeah.
And cumulatively, that's sort of 50-50. If they don't, if everyone gets every lift, it wasn't heavy enough. So we try to make it challenging, but we want people to qualify. So stuff like our medley we put at the end of the day, so that you've hit all your qualifying lifts already in those maybe first 3 or 4 events, and then we just throw something in there to be fun and a challenge and to really push people.
Yeah, talking about last events, I've competed with you alongside you a few times. I want to throw back to Singleton 2017, 2018. The last event in that, the 280 kilo frame carry. Have we since improved our grip?
No. I noticed you've got on here your favourite event and your worst event.
Yep.
Anything grip related is still my worst event. I was slowly getting better at grip. You did the frame carry with me at 280 at PTC as well, I remember.
260. 240 it was. PTC was 240 when I nosedived.
I don't know. There was one. I beat you on it though, so I'm going to take that
one. You beat me in that one. I beat you in that one.
I think you had a sleep on it, didn't you?
Who knows what I did, eh? All I remember was rupturing my Achilles. So yeah, let's talk about you and your favourite and least favourite events in strongman.
Yeah. This is going to be a super unpopular opinion. I love yoke.
Yeah. It's unpopular with me.
And it's funny because a lot of the promoters, and especially like promoters that are bigger in the sport in Australia seem to hate it. They reckon it's boring for a crowd to watch someone carry 500 kilos or 400 kilos on their back. I'm going to disagree. When we ran the yoke here, Renee Watch's set a new women's Australian record. I think she took 280 kilos, 260 for a walk in 14 seconds for 15 metres, which was pretty crazy. That's a big lift for an under 82 woman.
Yeah, that's a big lift for an open man.
Yeah, so she took that for a walk, and the whole crowd was behind her. So anyone that's done a little bit of strongman knows how hard yoke is. Yes, the average watcher from outside mightn't sort of grasp how heavy that is to carry, but I love yoke. It's good.
Yeah, well, I recently seen on your Instagram, you got a photo with, was it 260 with a couple of blokes?
Yeah, there's another one, 350 with two guys standing on it as well.
Nice. So nice and heavy. So
it's about 510 total weight.
So 510 kilos on your bar. For those who don't know about strongman, a yoke is a frame. Bar goes across your back. You pick it up and you got to run with it as fast as you can. We tend not to run. We tend to waddle.
Yeah, it's
unless your name's really like what's his name? World's Strongest Guy.
Yeah, Rob Kearney. He took 600 for a walk at the World's Strongest Man last year. They all got
quick.
They all got sucker punched. The weights were incorrectly loaded for both yokes at Worlds, and I think they ended up being about 60 kilos heavier than everyone thought they were meant to be. So that meant Rob's final yoke was over 600, and he was the outright fastest on that.
Yeah, he's very, very quick on the yoke.
Yeah, even seeing him last year at the Arnold in Melbourne, he was really impressive. He was super fast. You know, he said a time that people sort of were a bit shocked because he was one of the smallest competitors in the field.
Well, he is, yeah, because he's just come up from unders, didn't he? Recently?
Yeah, he was 125 or 126, I think, at the Arnold.
Jeez, that's great. That's my body weight.
Yeah.
So that's... And that's way more than I do. All right, we're going to get Beck in. Beck can come have a sit here on the little stone here. Come have a chair. She'll be right. Nah, she'll be right. You'll live.
I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
You don't get headphones.
That's okay.
All right. What I really want to talk about in today's episode was both your journeys. You have both recently come back from a really impressive show, but let's not go there yet. Let's go right back to the start. Obviously, Benny started before you.
Yep.
Benny was competing in strongman in a novice division. I think you did 1 or 2 novice comps.
Yeah, I got roped into it by a mate of mine, Kurt Livens. He's now quite a successful Highland Games competitor.
Yep.
So yeah, Kurt was a lifelong friend of mine. He got me to come and fill numbers for his novice division. He said, "Oh, you're reasonably strong. You know, you got a good squat and stuff. Come do this comp. I need people to join up. I need numbers." So I went out to Pacolba and had a day out in a vineyard picking up weird stuff and really enjoyed it. And then I was hooked. I had guys like Troy Connolly, Andrew Fraser there screaming at me, telling me to lift, encouraging you. You know, the guys you're competing with are really encouraging. And it typified strongman. It was like the sportsmanship was A+. Everyone tried their best. There was no saltiness. There was no ego. Everyone was just there to have a good time. And it's what sort of cemented that this was the sport for me.
On that is a big part of strongman. And I know both our clubs really promote that, is the sportsmanship in the club.
Yeah.
I know there's been times where I've been competing against you, for instance, and you're probably one of my greatest supporters at the same time. You're right there. Come on, Dan, come on, Dan, come on, Dan. And I do the same for you. And everyone does the same for everyone. I think that really typifies the sport.
Yeah.
100%. We are all there to support each other. It's probably the head exponent. I seen a meme on it the other day, actually. Like, it's the most team...
It's the most team-orientated
single...
individual sport.
Individual sport. Most team-orientated individual sport, yeah. So on that, you did that. Where from there?
I did that one. I then went down and competed at a New South Wales qualifier at Yamina Beach.
Yep.
And learnt a lot of lessons. That was crazy heavy, and competed with some guys down there that were really good as well. I got to lift a Commodore that day. That was cool.
A Commodore?
Yeah, I lifted
the 64, or are we talking like a...
No, it was a VE Series 2 Commodore.
Yeah,
so
nice.
that was pretty rad. That was the first time I'd ever picked up a car, and I was like, oh, wow, I can pick up cars. So, yeah, that was cool. Then I did a couple of other littler comps. Did a novice comp at a fundraiser at... that was at... Maitland.
And when did Beck come on the scene?
Beck came on the scene 2017.
So it was just after all this stuff, yeah?
Yeah. She came and watched me at New South Wales. She came and watched me at a qualifier at PTC.
Yep.
We then went to New South Wales and competed there. Met Eddie Williams.
Isn't that where did you tie? Or
we tied on the car deadlift,
yeah, that's pretty impressive. Like, if anyone doesn't know Eddie Williams, basically you can call him Australia's strongest man. He may not have been there this year. But
two times Australian strongest man.
2 times Australia's strongest man.
Because he has his pro card.
So, yeah, he's got a pro card now, so he doesn't need to. And a tie with him, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was stoked. It was a bit of a surprise result for me because I hadn't been going terribly well through the day. And then when I set the number I got, there are a lot of guys that sort of... I think I came last on the event before that.
Okay.
So I had to go first. I think I got 9 reps. And then everyone else was in that sort of 4 to 5 range. Couple failed.
Yeah.
And then Eddie came out. He scraped through, just got 9.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I nearly beat that guy. And when I turned up, like, you got this 6 foot something, 180 kilos Samoan dude, and I'm just like, I've got to compete against this monster.
Yeah.
And then when we tied on that event, I was really stoked. And then Matt Selves came out and got 10 and schooled us both. So
yeah, well,
also another ridiculously strong guy. So.
Matt Sells, yep. All right, so you were there at that comp?
Yes.
And you were like, woo, go Penny.
Yes.
Yes.
Then we went to Tamworth, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I competed at Tamworth 2018.
Yep.
And Beck had been saying, I wouldn't mind trying it. And she'd done a bit of log lift at my place, mainly in denim shorts when we were drunk. And
yeah. Is there any other way?
Yeah, no other way. And then, she, while we're at Tamworth, I spoke with Matt Pittman and Beck Nickel that were both there. They were running PTC at the time.
Yep.
And Beck said, sign her up. So I signed her up on the spot, went over to the gazebo that we had set up for some shade and told Beck that she was doing her first comp in 2 weeks.
And how did you feel about that?
I completely got thrown under the bus, but it has been the best experience. It's been so much fun.
So much fun. All right, so obviously from there, you've obviously competed at state titles at this stage.
2018 was a write-off year for me. I broke my foot after dropping a farmer's carry on it.
Yeah, you did.
Then I did Static Monsters in 2018, and that qualified me for Static Worlds 2019.
Yep.
So I placed 11th in the world and got a call up based on someone dropping out, which was cool. I went to Tamworth in January 2019, got second. That got me an invite to the Arnolds.
Yep.
So last year was probably my best year.
Yeah.
And if I can replicate that year, I'll be pretty stoked at any stage. So, second at Tamworth.
Did you compete at Tamworth too?
Yes.
Yes. So you both competed together at Tamworth.
Yeah.
2019. I believe you did fairly well at that comp too.
Yeah, equal third.
Third.
Due to count back, I got 4th. Oh. But it was 42 degrees, 10-hour day.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Great times.
Yeah, so that was good. March we went down to Melbourne, competed at the Arnold, and met a lot of really strong people.
That's been a long time goal for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, that was a goal I sort of set, and it's been a pinnacle comp in Australia for a long time. I think most amateurs in Australia should kind of set that target for themselves.
Yep.
It is, they take the top 20%. So if you're in that top 20%, you get a Guernsey and you can go and compete, and it's a great day. Walking into a fitness expo with an athlete band on and walking around with a competitor shirt, it's crazy. Like you don't feel special like as a strongman. Like normally you stick out because you're big and like, people like who's
you make things look small.
Yeah,
you don't drink big cans of soft drinks that look small.
You go to the Arnold and you're walking around in like a competitor shirt and everyone's like, oh my god, they're a strongman.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And obviously you didn't make Arnold's that year. Are we looking at Arnold's in the future?
Eventually, it'll be a goal. For now, I want to get back to nationals and do, hopefully, fingers crossed, do better than my second place that I got last year.
Yep.
Want to get back over to the States and compete and travel the world.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the next step of your journey together. You both went and competed at nationals last year. Both did very well. I believe you took out Masters?
Yep.
Yeah, so Australia's strongest old man.
Yeah.
And the second strongest Australia's
open woman.
Yeah. So
that's at the ASA Nationals.
At the ASA Nationals. Now that's different Arnold's.
Yeah.
So you've got like Australia's strongest man and woman, and the Arnold's are run and promoted by a completely different group. And I guess it's kind of like, for anyone that's in the States that might watch this, it's kind of like the Strongman Corp. Like there's two, I think, big federations in the US, and they run two separate nationals.
Yep.
But yeah, the ASA Nationals gives a direct pathway to official strongman games, which is the pinnacle of amateur, I think, strongman in the world, unless you're going to compete at, say, the Arnold Amateurs.
Yep.
Which is also, I'm probably going to say that's the biggest like comp in the world.
Yeah, okay.
But it doesn't provide you with, the world title. At official strongman games, they contest the world's strongest category for everything but the open men.
All right, so you guys obviously went to the nationals. You qualified for OSG. Now, there was an OSG fundraiser for you guys last year. I remember attending that. That was pretty fun times.
Trucks is
where I pulled my first truck.
Yeah. Yes,
with a gammy leg.
With a gammy leg. I think you did it kind of like hobbling along.
It was all arms, mate. All arms. All arms.
Hey, you got it across the line. That's all that matters.
That's it. So we obviously all banded together as a strong community to send you guys there. You guys are local, Hunter Valley, Newcastle, sort of that region. Competitors and probably our first two competitors to go to that sort of level in the region. So obviously we all banded together to send you guys over there. Let's talk about your trip over there. How was that? What did you just do? Except for drink big cans of beer.
That was day 2 of being in America.
American food is amazing.
When you can get 2 710ml cans of Corona for $6 from the service station, you can't pass that up, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Obviously, alcohol laws are fairly relaxed over there.
Yeah, they don't really care. We got over there. The flight was brutal. We left here at 10 a.m. Monday morning.
Okay.
We got into LA at 6 a.m. Monday morning.
Yeah, just lost 4 hours.
And then flew to LA to Daytona, at LA to Orlando.
Yeah.
And got there at 4:30 p.m. Monday afternoon.
It's a bit of flying.
Yeah, 20 hours of flying, and we lost 6 hours out of the day for the 20 hours of flying.
And to be this big, sitting next to each other with another person.
Did you guys not think to separate the seats and maybe sit one in front, one behind?
No, we wanted to sit near each other, and we got one person that had to sit next to us, of course. And
should have put him in the middle.
Yeah, I got the aisle seat, so every time any person, any stewardess, any trolley went down the aisle, it was just like donk.
All right, so you get to the US. You guys are obviously ready to compete. Had to take all your gear with you. Obviously, that's quite expensive in excess baggage charges.
Trying to get belt levers through customs is interesting.
Really?
Yes.
They don't like them.
Oh, it's a big metal thing in your bag. They're just like, what's that? We haven't seen those before.
Yeah,
I had to have my bag searched at every airport.
Cool.
Yes.
Fun.
It's a bomb. It's going to be a bomb.
I guess you guys turned up to compete. What size is the show? We used to do comps here in Australia where the biggest shows you got 50 competitors and maybe 70, 80 spectators.
Yeah, it's 6 events.
Yep.
Over 3 days.
Yep.
There's 230 competitors.
Yeah.
Wow. So we're talking 4 or 5 times the size of a typical show here in Australia.
And it was in an arena,
Yeah.
like your proper arena seating and stuff like that. It was pretty specky.
Spectators, what are they like over there? They're much the same as they are here, or?
Yeah,
They're a little bit quieter.
they were a little bit quieter.
There's no Aussie yobbo like.
You can definitely hear the
There's no
Australians
Bogan?
when it-
No.
Oh, maybe they need to take it down to the bayou and.
Yeah.
Well, when Naramu, Carla Sherry and Jessica Cameron all made the finals, and when they were competing in the finals, every time there was an Australian up, all the Australians rushed to the edge of the thing, were banging on the fences and like, yeah, nah, for Naramu, and just yelling. I couldn't speak properly after the finals day.
So, bit of an eye-opener for the Americans then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to witness loud, raucous Aussies.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the highlights of that comp. Now, I know you both had a fair few highlights of that comp. You came 20th?
Yes.
So, highlight of the comp for you, I'm about to fall off this phone. What was your highlight?
We had nationals, obviously, to qualify for that comp. I had attempted to pick up a 100-kilo sandbag, and I could only get it to my knees.
Okay.
And kind of had to knee it forward to try and get it there.
Actually, I do remember seeing that. Yep.
In the States, I managed to not only pick up the 100-kilo sandbag, I managed to walk it 15 metres.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Like, and we're talking someone, that's only a matter of weeks.
Yep.
So in a matter of weeks, you've gone from struggling to pick this sandbag up to picking it up and actually carrying it the full 15 minutes.
August to November.
Yep. For someone who really doesn't train very often.
Yeah. Beck loves to train.
YOLO effect.
YOLO effect. Eats like a strong man, drinks like a strong man, trains sometimes like a strong man. Is that how it works?
Yes.
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 You only live once.
Yes. And the 100-kilo keg.
And a 100-kilo keg carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's pretty impressive still.
Yep.
Well, that's...
Just missed out on the 102-kilo Husserfeld.
Yeah, the Husserfelds are evil, but...
Yeah. It was like a rubber. It was tiny, and it maybe stood like this tall from the ground, and it was just tiny rubber. It was hell.
Ew.
Yeah.
Benny, I think I'm pretty sure I know the highlight of your event days at OSG.
Yeah.
Would it be the Viking press? Even though you didn't do so good at it, it was sort of it's a great part but a bad part all at the same time. Am I right?
So I got it. We had heats, so they had 4 of everything set up for the whole time. So you competed with 4 other people, and being world's strongest masters, there was obviously some pretty strong old dudes there. And one of them had competed at the World Ultimate Strongman the week before and did 4 events and still placed 4th overall.
Oh.
So that's over in Dubai. That's like one of the massive comps they have. I think there's word Haftor's going to try and set a 501 deadlift this year at that comp. But I lined up in my heat and I looked next to me and there's Terry Hollands standing there about to compete. And I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm about to go head-to-head with Terry Hollands on a live stream that's broadcast over the world for World's Strongest title.
Yeah,
this is going to be fun. And then I zeroed the event and I was gutted.
Oh, look, you can be gutted that you zeroed the event. I believe you trained for a certain weight.
I trained up to 150 kilos and it got reps out on that.
Yep.
But the apparatus that I'd used, I'd made it as perfect as I possibly could. It was really stiff. It had no whip. It had no flex or anything like that. So it was technically, I think the lift was okay, but then the setup at OSG was just completely different to what I was used to, and it had a lot of flex. And I got a good dip, but I just couldn't get set, and I've got no excuse. I was just not strong enough.
Oh, look, there's always next time.
That's it.
But like, you gotta admit, like, to be standing, like, because you guys were like literally like that.
Yeah.
In the heat. That's pretty, like, not many Australians can say they've competed against someone of that caliber.
He looked at him and he goes, "Are you fucking ready to go?"
You're fucking ready to go.
Well, Terry Hollands is trying to psych me up. I don't know if he's trying to psych me up or psych me out or what. But
He may have psyched you out a little bit.
no, it just, I was pumped. But yeah, it was, that was kind of a baptism of fire, that event.
Yep.
And then I knew it was just going to have to be all gas, no brakes for the rest of the weekend to do as well as I could.
Yeah. Now, if that's not your highlight, what is that? That was your highlight for me.
Yeah.
I was like, man, can I be Benny for a day just to do that?
I think getting to the last bar on the deadlift ladder, was pretty good. Failing it sort of sucked. I didn't pull the weight. It was 330. It would have been a PB.
Yep.
And I lifted 265, 288, and 309 in that ladder beforehand. And I think they placed me 15th. So I got on day 2. I got 15th and 16th in my 2 events. Day 1 was a throwaway. There were 9 of us that zeroed the Viking press.
Yep.
Including Mark Felix.
Wow.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know who Mark Felix is, he's like possibly got the best gripper in the world.
Yeah, he just reset
Hercules
the
World
hold.
Records.
Yes.
Yeah. World's Strongest
Crazy
Man.
massive
Finalist.
For those on the YouTube, we're talking like
I had to do the palm to palm thing with him. Like,
Yeah.
Mark, how big actually are your hands? And yeah, he held his hands up and like his fingers are like this much longer than mine.
Yeah, so he hook
could
grips an
hook grip
axle.
an axle bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, another pro strongman that I got to line up against and compete with that was super nice dude.
Yeah. So they're fairly big highlights. Obviously, for you, Benny, like these guys that competed on the world stage, they've competed at World's Strongest Man, which is for the open men's the pinnacle.
Yeah.
That's mint.
I guess the biggest highlight for both of us would have just been going there, mixing and lifting with people that we've followed for so long on social media and stuff like that, people that we've kind of revered and looked up to, and then you're lifting with them. And they're the most chill people in the world. It's the same, that strongman sportsmanship. You've got Terry Hollands psyching you up before a lift. Beck was competing with like Donna Moore and
now Donna's a really strong woman.
Jess Fifth and Hayley Randall.
Yeah.
And
They're all amazing.
And they all, they look Beck up. They were talking to Beck, and
that's cool.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. It must be cool for you to have that feeling that these American stars. Like I know Jessica. She's huge on social media. Runs that you look like a man.
Such a good page.
Super empowering for women.
If you don't already, go follow that page. It's a good laugh. They have those people sort of inspire you, and then you meet them and do that. It must be a really incredible journey.
It was, and hanging out with those people, they're being so personal. I had a conversation with Terry Hollands about the Israel Folau rugby ban.
Okay.
And, we were just sitting there like it was a Sunday afternoon and we're just having a beer at the pub, just watching these strongest people in the world lift and talking about Israel Folau, whether we supported the ban or not.
Yeah, okay.
It was cool. Like,
that's a pretty cool thing. And obviously that shows how down to earth these people are. Like, these guys are the pinnacle in the world, and they're just like you and me.
He was also giving me shit because England had just knocked Australia out of the Rugby World Cup.
Okay. I don't like him anymore.
No. Obviously a bad guy.
Terrible. Plans for Coal City for 2020. We'll start with Coal City first, and then we'll go on to your own personal plans for the year.
So we just had our ASA qualifier.
Yep.
We ran that. We qualified a bunch of people for nationals.
Yep.
Hopefully people get behind nationals. I don't think enough people realise the pathway that ASA Nationals does provide.
Yeah. Which is that OSG. So for those that are watching or listening at home,
top 3 from each weight division other than Masters. It's only the top 1 from Masters.
Yep.
But top 3 from each weight division get an invite to go to the World Strongman Games. So official Strongman Games.
That's incredible. And hopefully we get a few competitors. I know we've got a Lake Max Strongman competitor up there for that.
You look at last year Naramu went and competed in Brisbane. He won the under 90s.
Yeah, and now
and then went
world's
to
strongest.
OSG and
come
won
first.
World's Strongest Man. He's now the world's strongest man under 90 kilos. He's a world record holder for Axel.
Yep.
He's just
for
on a
his-
200 kilo stone.
Yeah, he loaded the 200 kilo stone.
I don't like him anymore.
And his 200 kilo stone was butter smooth. It
Yeah.
was not...
Because we see a lot of heavyweights struggle with a 200 kilo stone.
Guys at Australia's Strongest Man, there were a couple of guys that hit 200 as a new PB, and they were the top of the placings.
Yeah.
So, that's a 200 stone is massive. People don't understand how huge that is, and he's under 90 kilos.
Well, I believe you're sitting on the 95 kilo stone. So for those watching the video, we're talking twice that size.
Yeah, it's a 22-inch stone.
So it's big.
Yeah. I know Standard Submit just they stamped a 241 kilo plaque this week for one
Yeah, I
of their
did
stones.
see that actually. I was like, ooh.
And that's going to Arnold. So, if anyone's lifted, Narama is probably going to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
So if he gets
sure.
a chance.
All right, so we've just had the national qualifier. You always hold around Aprilish time a state qualifier / novice comp that's coming up.
Yeah, so we're a bit mindful of obviously people coming back from the Arnolds that haven't qualified for states. So we will hold a qualifier in sort of April, May.
Yep.
We're still yet to finalise a date. We had one, but we've had to change it. So we're just going to finalise that date and get details out. Then we'll be pretty quiet. We'll probably hold a novice comp sort of mid-year after everything settles down, probably around July.
Okay.
And then look to obviously Static Monsters, holding another Static Monsters here.
Yep.
And qualifying some people for Worlds again. I know David Broomhand came down last year, competed
Qualified for Masters.
in the Masters category and placed 6th overall for Masters. So he's off to go to Ohio.
Yeah, that's crazy. And when we say 6 overall, we're talking 6 overall in the world.
Yeah.
Right, so those who are listening and don't know about Static Monsters, it's a 2-lift event. You got log and an 18-inch axle deadlift.
Yeah, weighting or deadlift.
If you get top 10 in your weight division or your division, because there's also
I think there were 50-something comps worldwide, and they're all held on the same day. So that's
Same
weekend. You got 50 comps that get held all over the world.
Yep.
All of those results are pulled.
Yep.
And then the top 10 from the results for each category get invited to go to the world titles.
Yeah. Now, I competed in your Static Monsters last year. I reckon that was a pretty awesome day.
Yeah.
I got a top 100 log. I was like, yeah. My deadlift sucked, but hey.
These things happen.
Yeah, those things happen. So you obviously got that in October, November, December.
Yeah,
probably quiet time.
We always keep it pretty quiet. Obviously, we'll run our Sundays, we'll run our Wednesdays.
Yeah, so that'll be happening all year.
Yep.
Unless you guys get called away.
Yeah.
And then Wednesdays will probably still happen because I'll do it.
Yeah.
But
Let's be real.
There are a couple of weekends. At the moment, the club sort of is Beck and I that run it.
Yep.
And obviously, we still compete and we still have sort of commitments and stuff like that. So I know next weekend Beck has the Newcastle show, so he probably won't do a class.
Yep.
Beck's competing in a Highland Games comp there over 3 days.
Yeah, I believe we won't. Lake Mac won't be there either for our class. We'll be probably up there watching.
And then April 18th, where we both go to compete at Southern Hemisphere Strongest Man and Woman.
Yep.
So that's out at Lithgow. We'll be competing on Sunday, so we won't be here.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, but if you are looking to, even the people who do train with you, should go down and have a watch and see your mentors compete.
And that's the thing. I'd encourage, if you can't get down to watch and you want to train, you guys have your Sunday sessions.
We have Sunday afternoons. You guys do Sunday mornings. We can do Sunday afternoons. We tend to really work well together because our days never really fall on the same sort of day, and that sort of does help the people in the area who do. If they can't train with me, they'll go train with you. If they can't train with you, they'll come train with me.
Yeah.
And we work well like that.
It's a family.
A family. We are a big family.
As much as we love to hate each other, it is a.
Are we talking about you and me? Or?
It is a family.
So obviously you guys got Southern Hemisphere Strongest Man coming up. What's after that?
So Southern Hemisphere is in April. Again, the top 3 for Opens and Open Women get an invite to Worlds. Top Masters, men's and women's, get an invite back to Worlds.
Yep.
So that gives us 2 chances to qualify for the official Strongman Games for next year. And then, there's New South Wales Strongest on the June long weekend.
Okay. Both competing?
Yes.
And then ASA Nationals at the ECA in Brisbane, the Brisbane show.
Yeah, which is normally around August.
I think it's September this year.
No, it's
August 15th and 16th.
Mid-August, actually. I think I've seen the thing come up. And then after that, you guys, are you going to be competing in Static Monsters this year, or are you guys just going to host again?
It depends when it fell. Like last year, it fell literally the day before we flew out to the States.
Yep.
So
we didn't want to risk injury.
We didn't want to risk it. I kind of regret not doing it. Like there was that FOMO effect.
Yeah.
Like kind of, but yeah. If it's not going to clash with another comp, we'll definitely do it.
Yep.
It does provide an opportunity to go to another World Championships, and anytime you can go and compete against people from other countries is a good time.
Yeah.
We've met so many friends, that we've made from Static last year, from Static Worlds, then going to Nationals, going to state comps, travelling around. We've got Canberra's strongest man.
ACT strongest.
Yep.
Beck's competing at that to defend her title there.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, it's a fairly busy year, but I guess we're just trying to pick the comps that are going to provide the pathways that we want. We
to go back to where you guys were, and improve on every year.
And I think the biggest thing for me as a strong woman is trying to provide other women with that pathway and the opportunity to. You don't just have to be boxed in Australia. You can compete.
Yeah.
And you can go and compete against the best women in the world. And they are the nicest women in the world.
Yeah, of course they are.
They're amazing.
I actually think from experience, like men, women, doesn't matter. It's the strongman community. We're tops.
That's what got me hooked.
Look, we went to the Strongman Games and there were people sort of that were, I'm going to say, very focused on their performance.
Yep.
That came across really not very approachable.
Yep.
And then after the competition was finished, you find out these people are the most approachable people in the world.
Yeah.
That's just what they need to do to get through.
Yeah, if that's
we
what
ended up in a
get through
hot tub
Yeah.
with a bunch of strong people, and one of the there was 12 of us, I think, in a jacuzzi at this
it like a 5-man
Airbnb.
jacuzzi?
It was a 7-man jacuzzi, and we definitely maxed out its limits.
There was a little bit of water in there still by the time we all got in, but there were world record holders in that jacuzzi. Like, I'm hoping some of that maybe rubbed off on us, but
soak some of the strength in.
we met people there that now, like, we put up the post. Ella yesterday carried a 60-kilo yoke.
Yep.
Rhiannon Lovelace has shared that, and Rhiannon Lovelace is a bit of a legend in strongman.
Yeah,
she's a legend in strength sports because of 3 or 4 time body weight deadlift at the moment.
Yeah.
As Ella says, her favourite strongest light lady.
Strongest light lady.
Under 62 competitor that has a 260 something.
I do believe it's 272 kilos.
There you go, 272 kilo deadlift.
That's bigger than mine.
Yeah, it's bigger than a lot of people's.
All right, so you guys obviously really got a fairly packed year, but a fairly cruisy year ahead of you as well.
Yeah,
nothing like the last couple of years where you guys have been sort of like pushed and pulled. Comp-wise.
Yeah, we just didn't want to we needed to slow down. I'm 43. I can't take touring comp after comp after comp.
Yeah, we can tell.
This year, already qualifying for nationals, getting the invite to compete at Southern Hemisphere. That gives me 2 opportunities to qualify for Worlds, which is I want to go back there. I feel like I've got some unfinished business. I didn't do as well as I wanted to last year, which was that day 1 result. I'd like to kind of have all the results closer to day 2.
Yeah.
If I can finish in the top, 50% of the field, I'd be stoked.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of work that's got to go in between now and then, obviously. But we just want to, keep the club going, create pathways for people, and look to try and qualify more people for bigger comps in the Hunter area and just grow the sport.
Yeah, lovely. I guess I'd like to thank you guys for both being on the show today.
No, thank you.
It's been really good to have you guys. You guys, Benny was a mentor of mine. You and I have just butted heads, but we love each other.
Hey, she's pushed you to do better, because anytime you get a lift that she's got, she then turns around and tries to get the same what you've got, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm not letting a woman beat me, so you're going to do it better." It's like,
no ladies beating me. Tell you that much. So thank you. How can people find you social media wise? You got Facebook.
Yeah, so Coal City, it's just Coal City Strongman.
Yep.
All one word at Instagram, 3 words at Facebook.
Yep.
Benny Chessum Strongman is my page on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
Again, all one word and then 3 separate words.
And yourself?
And then Rebecca Chessum, aka Big Bird Strongwoman.
All right, so we can look at Big Bird on Instagram as well.
Yeah, Big Bird's Instagram, yep.
All right, I'm Dan. I'm mostly strongman.dan on Instagram. Late Mac Strongman. Check us out on the socials, Facebook and Instagram. Thanks, our man, to Dylan over there.
Thanks, Dylan.
2's Company, 3's Podcast Studios, organising this for us. Awesome dude. Thank you very much. You can find him on Instagram, YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, iTunes. Same place you can find all of us. All them places. So hit him up. He's a good dude.
Not in the sled! Jump it! Go, go, go! King down! Come back, move! That's it! Move now, move, move, move! Let's go back, come on!
You gotta go,
Good work! Come on, baby, move! Move! That's it! All the way! Get it in!
90 seconds to complete the course. We're coming up with 30 seconds left.
Go on into the... Get him in! Run back, let's go! Let's go!
Keep moving.
Run back!
Just moving, come on. Gotta break that line. How much time still?
20 seconds.
20 seconds, girl. Come
Pick and move!
15 seconds remaining. 225 pounds in the high top of the belt still.
on, let's move it. Let's move it. Come on.
Elbows under, come on, let's go!
Move it forward, that's it. Move it forward.